Good morning or afternoon. Oh, I think I said that last time. Oh, and people told me that I don't look in the camera enough, so I'll do this uncomfortably. Anyways, let's get some screen share up here. So I got some new maps. Here you go. Blink. This is Van. Blue is bad. So if you can either do this by market or you can do by state. Let's do it by state. Boom, there you go. There's your colors. On this map, blue is bad, and the darker the red, the better. As you can see, Van is this is outbound. Not looking that great. And then here's reefer. So if you're a reefer, you want to be in this area right here. And which I was discovering that yesterday. But see, the man, excuse me. That's why I don't have a microphone, because you don't need to hear that. When it comes to weekends, you're going to end up in a dead area if you're running long miles. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. Man, I don't know. I mean, you need to take a swig of water or something, or coffee. Here's flatbed. And I've been saying for weeks that this is the area you want to be for flatbed, right here. So when you look at, okay, why is Montana hot for outbound flatbed? What's the industry out there that's creating? So, anyways, let's do away with that. This is the load ratio numbers. This is something that I use all the time. This is for reefer, as you can see. You want to avoid Arizona, Arkansas. Arkansas is a good spot. Look at that, 27 in, 147 out. California, not so much. 1240 going in, 814 coming out. So you're going to fight a little bit, and the rates are going to reflect that. As people get desperate and have high expenses, right? Talk to one driver that's got $250,000 invested in his rig, which back in the day that was a heavy haul truck or a triaxle truck, not a regular generic fleet truck with a reefer trailer. Georgia's not that great, but Iowa looks pretty good. Illinois has got the highest volume coming out. Same thing with Michigan. Michigan's pretty good up there. Minnesota, Missouri, pretty much reflects the other map that I just showed you. Montana, 81 coming out, 17. This is the numbers for reefer. And Pennsylvania, 535 in, 698 out. So Virginia's good, Washington's good, Wisconsin's good. West Virginia, look at West Virginia popping up there. But these numbers are really kind of striking. I mean, there's literally no 4-digit numbers at all. Now let's do van. I always put van standard and van specialized. Specialized vans could be liftgate, could be team, could be tailgate, could be straps. You should be strapped in your load anyways if it doesn't come back to the doors. But talking like furniture, stuff like that, not household moving, but you know, like somebody's getting a load of furniture delivered to their warehouse or whatever. This is van. As you can see, the numbers are higher, but the load ratios are still off. Everybody's shipping, but hardly anybody's receiving, or nobody's shipping. Everybody's receiving. Indiana is good. Illinois is good. Phone's going off already. Maine looks good. Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Montana. I need to find out what's going on in Montana. Why are the load ratios pretty good in all the markets there? New Jersey, 497 in, 1201 out. That's the shifting of the ports. Ohio, 1147 in, 1564 out. Now, the problem, again, that you see is the same thing. If you got to do a long run for the weekend, and it's Thursday, but you should be thinking about what you're going to do and where you're going to stage for your weekend, you're going to end up in a dead area. That's all there is to it. So that's where the term backhaul money comes from. Wisconsin, 441 in, 1175 out. So you still got some 4-digit numbers in van here. We switch this to flatbed. We'll throw Conestoga in there. Dex. Take out van specialized. And there's your load count. Look at Alaska. 8 in, 2 out. Alabama's a good spot. Arizona's a little bit better with flatbed. Arkansas is good. California, not so much. Connecticut, look at Connecticut. 81 in, 232 loads out if you're flatbed deck. Florida's even a little bit better. 1013 in, 506 out. So if you got a flatbed going into Florida, you might get a decent rate coming out. Probably not, but you know, better chance than if you're a reefer. 696 in, 773 out on Georgia. So again, the Southeast doing its thing. Iowa, no. Idaho is about even. 248 in, 269 out. That surprises me. It's interesting to learn the different platforms, and how the load counts look. So 163 in Louisiana, 975 out. I guarantee that most of that's probably lumber, mulch. You know, maybe it's onions. Do onions come out of Montana? Maybe. Or Idaho. Yeah, Idaho's. Well, I mean, onions are carried on a flatbed. We're still learning, folks. We're still learning. Look at Mississippi, 106, 800 out. So the problem with that is that if you want to run long for flatbed, again, you might have to go to a dead area. A lot of shippers, receivers for flatbed loads are not open on weekends. They're not like dry van, you know, Procter & Gamble, Walmart type stuff. You know, they don't do that. Texas, 2267 in, 2674 out. And then Washington, look at Washington, 263 in, 540 out. So let's look at 123 here. This is all trailers. So let's switch this to van. Point. There you go. There's van. Green is good on this map. Red is bad, or not so great. So there's your, let's do reefer. Not much difference. Although they're Georgia and Florida doing well. Now, mind you, 123 it's a smaller board. It's got a lot of great tools, especially if you're new to the spot market, new to booking your own loads, new to being a business owner. Let's do flatbed. And if you're a broker, I don't think that 123 charges for you to post your loads. I could be wrong, but there's your flatbed, as you can see. Now they're showing opposite on the flatbed than the other one. But yeah, there's your area right there. So essentially, if you wanted to bounce from here to here and back and just kind of, or here to here to here, maybe a shorty there, rinse, repeat. Just kind of create a triangle. Boing. Just, you know. So, yeah. Anyways, that's the market for today. Look, emotions are high right now. And the thing that I'm struggling with this week has been brokers not answering phone calls or emails. I use different emails, I use different phones. I'm very professional in my communication. There's one brokerage that I haven't been able to get a hold of all for like 2 weeks now. I mean, none of them are answering. I believe they're on that list of brokers that are not paying, below 90 days. So that's probably part of it, but I would discover that later. So I stopped calling them. But there are certain brokers you look at on the low board and you're like, I'm not calling that, I'm not calling that. And then when you get a little bit more desperate, a little bit more, and I got to move this truck, then you start calling, and then they still don't answer. They still don't. It's like you learn a little bit, doing this. You learn quite a bit. You learn who to avoid and who not to avoid, and who's going to help, who's going to be good, and who tends to have problems. And it seems like they're all problems, in transit times. That's the thing that's kicking my butt this week is, you got $400 loads that they want to go 200 miles with, and it picks up at 7 a.m. and delivers at 10 a.m. the next day. Or you've got loads that pick up at 7 o'clock at night and deliver at 6 a.m. the next morning, 600, 700 miles away. Or it's a 400, 500-mile load that has 2 days transit. So not only are we struggling with rate per mile, but we're struggling with rate per day. And that's the kicker, because you don't get time back. You can kind of fluctuate your cost per mile a little bit, but that cost per day, you never get it back. So people that say that they run 30 days a month, they're full of it, because you can't, because the loads right now are not even allowing that. So it's been tough. And so if you're going to run super long to avoid that, guess what? You're going to end up in an area that's not great. So at some point or another, you end up taking a hit. So knowing your markets, knowing where to stage your truck, but also is important, but also the ability to overcome something, overcome a negative event. So emotions are high right now. We had some YouTube drama last night with a small channel, and it was unwarranted, because they're feeling some pain, and that's the thing. Look, it's tough right now, and if you got your act together, it's still tough, because we're not out here just as a hobby, right? You're not out there paying payments on a newer truck to bring home $100 a week or whatever. So it's tough. A lot of people are struggling right now. You just gotta persevere. Eventually this market will start flipping a little bit. Christmas freight is shipping now, and there's a lot of warehouse shenanigans going on, and that's why I think that I'm seeing the problems. And it's not just me, it's everybody I've talked to. I was on live with DIY and Sterling, and they're seeing the same things. You know, I was on their channel last night. Other carriers that I've talked to, other drivers. I had a driver call me and like, "Hey, am I crazy? Are you seeing the same thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing." So there's something to that. So it's not just, you know, my inability to, you know, whatever. There is something definitely happening with this market. And, you know, it looked like volumes were increasing last week. This week someone flipped that switch. And that's how quickly it happens now. Which, you know, that in and of itself is um, can be shocking at times, you know, because, you know, it used to be a gradual, you know, that's kind of it. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would, give me a thumbs up, give me some feedback, put in the comment section, what are you seeing? What what things are you what things are you dealing with when it comes to talking to brokers? And what are you seeing if you're on the shipping side? You know, what's going on? You know, let's all give ourselves some insight. So that being said, thanks for watching, and um, yeah, so.